Good day, class. This is our fifth week of our lesson for Fundamentals of Accountancy, Business and Management 1. And today we will discuss about the posting transactions in the general and subsidiary ledgers. So last week, yung ating lesson ay patungkol sa journalizing. And still, we are talking about merchandising business. So, basically, same ng processes ang service type of business at saka ang merchandising business. Mas complex lang ang merchandising dahil dito merong mga merchandise at mayroong mga inventories. At syempre, mas yung marami rin ang clients ng sales. Okay? Bukod pa sa sales, meron ka pang mga suppliers. So, medyo complex ang usapin patungkol sa merchandising when it comes to bookkeeping and accounting. After journalizing the transactions, we will now post it to the general and subsidiary ledgers. Sabi ko nga, pareho lang din ang general and subsidiary ledgers, yung mga principles na ito, pareho lang ang merchandising at service type of business. Every day, companies engage in hundreds and thousands of transactions, especially those big companies that we know today. Some of these transactions are purchasing goods, cash and credit sales, investing to other companies, purchases of inventories, paying payables, payments of expenses, and many others. To have a good record of each transaction or to keep track of its transactions more efficiently, companies keep and maintain a set of books and or records called books of accounts. Books of accounts are the finance records, ledgers, and journals that compose the company's accounts. These serve as the company's financial memory and comprise of every single business, transactions, and financial information of a company. So, journal, what is it? It is a chronological record of all the company's transactions listed by date. Kaya nga, chronological. So, it is also called the Book of Original Entry. So, before we tackle ledger, let us have this general journal for our reference later. So, tingnan nyo itong nasa screen. Ito yung ating journal book, no? Andito yung date, yung account titles at saka yung explanation niya, yung reference, yung columns ng debit at credit. So, pansinin nyo, parehong-pareho lang din ito doon sa service type of business. Therefore, itong ating discussion will be a bit faster because we know already that these are almost the same and you are all familiar with the parts, with the processes of journalizing and posting to ledgers. So, ito yung nangyaring transaction ayon dito sa ating journal entries. So, it is by date, no? 2021 and January. So, there is the investment. Okay, tapos yung usual na everyday transactions, yung selling, purchasing, tapos meron tayong mga accounts receivable. So, at itong particular na journal entry na ito ay anong inventory type. Since nakikita nyo rito yung merchandise inventory, immediately after the sale of the product, nilagay agad natin yung cost of goods sold na entrada at ang merchandise inventory, ibig sabihin, ang system na ginamit dito ay perpetual system. Hindi siya yung periodic system. Now, the company will proceed to posting after journalizing the business transactions in the general and subsidiary journals. Posting involves the transferring of journal entries to the ledger accounts to bring together the effect of the transactions to the individual accounts of the company. So what's a ledger? Ledger is the grouping of all accounts of a company, showing its respective outstanding balances. Grouping, so ibig sabihin, kung cash ang ating pinag-uusapan or yung account title, lahat ng makikita dyan sa particular ledger na yan ay cash lang. So, kaya nga grouping. So, kung accounts receivable lang. Ledger is also called book of final entry. We have two kinds of ledgers. We have general ledger and subsidiary ledger. The general ledger contains all the assets, liabilities, and owner's equity accounts of the company. Unlike journals that are arranged chronologically, the ledgers are usually grouped according to their chart of accounts and arranged according to the order on how they appear on the financial statements, starting from the asset accounts, followed by the liability accounts, and finally, the equity accounts, including the revenues and expenses. So, kung ang journalizing natin ay chronological order, sabihin, nagsisimula siya according to date, ang makikita natin sa ledger ay paano yung kanyang format. Ano ang mauuna? Yung nasa chart of accounts natin, yung asset. Tapos yung liability, and then owner's equity, and then revenue, and then yung expenses. Ganyan yung kanyang pagkakasunod-sunod. Now, the parts of the general ledger, it is also the same with the general ledger parts of the service type of business. We have the account title, the ledger account reference number. Ano ito? Each company has its own chart of accounts. Yun nga yung makikita natin sa chart of accounts. The ledger account reference number corresponds to the reference number assigned by the company to each account. Example, cash is assigned to a reference number 101, while accounts receivable is assigned to reference number 111. So, yan yung reference number na makikita natin sa column mamaya-maya. Then, we have the date, tapos yung explanation. And then, we have the reference. This shows the page number in which the transaction was posted. Makikita natin yan reference later on. And then also we have the debit and credit columns tsaka yung balance. What distinguished a ledger from the journal is the running outstanding balances provided by the ledger. After every transaction, the balance of each of the accounts are known without the need for further computations. On year-end, these balances will be the basis of the amounts presented in the financial statements of the company. So, tingnan na nga natin ito. Example ng general ledger. Yung mga parts na binanggit nandito, yung date, yung explanation, yung reference, yung columns ng debit at credit, tsaka yung balance. And of course, yung unang-una, makikita natin kung ano yung account title ng ating win-work with. For example, dito yung cash. Okay, nakita sa gitna sa taas yung number 1, yung cash. And then yung number 2, ito yung reference. Ito yung ledger account reference number. So, yung cash nga, ang kanyang code, ayon sa chart of account natin ay 101. Yung accounts receivable ay 111. Yung inventory ay 121. And so on and so forth. And then also, yung reference na sinasabi natin. Nakita nyo rito, J1, J1, J1. Ibig sabihin yan, makikita sa journal, dun sa journal entry natin na page 1. Okay? Kaya kapag may nakita kayo na J2, journal entry yan or journal book na nasa page 2. Yan yung ating reference. This shows the page number in which the transaction was posted. Mapapansin nyo, no? Iniisa-isa bawat account title na nagamit natin sa ating transactions for the whole month or for the whole year. We have also the property, plant, and equipment, accounts payable, the capital, the sales returns, the cost of goods sold, salaries, expense. So, ang mga ito ay nakabase doon sa pinakita natin example kanina ng journal entries, yung mga transactions. Ito na yung posting niya. So, mapapansin nyo, for example, itong cost of goods sold, January 4, January 12, January 15. Okay? Balikan natin yung iba. January property, plant, and equipment, yung accounts payable, meron siya sa transaction ng January 8 at saka January 25. So, ganyan. Ganyan natin nakikita yung ledger plus yung balance. Okay? Since running balance yan, makikita nyo dapat yung beginning balance ng bawat account. So, for example, yung accounts receivable. Okay? Anyway, dito wala naman. Pero normally nakalagay dito yan. Okay? Tingnan natin yung cash. Normally, ilalagay na natin dito yung beginning balance ng cash. Since ito ay permanent accounts at yan ay may running balance. Subsidiary ledger. So, large companies have lots of transactions from their customers who buy goods and merchandise on credit. If these companies utilize general ledger, can you imagine the time they will spend in order to determine the outstanding balances of each individual customers? How about for the company's individual creditors? In order to ease the burden, large companies use subsidiary ledger. Subsidiary ledger, it is a group of accounts with a similar characteristic or accounts receivable and accounts payable usually. Okay? Dito sa subsidiary ledger. It is an additional record to the general ledger utilized by the company to track the per individual accounts of the company's customers, creditors, and the like. Relationship of general ledger and subsidiary ledger. Kung sa general ledger, makikita natin yung cash, yung accounts receivable in general, accounts payable in general, yung revenues, yung expenses, at iba pa. Diyan natin makikita yung sa general ledger. Sa subsidiary ledger, sabi nga natin, usually, ang nandito yung accounts receivable at accounts payable kasi ang dami-dami nating customer. So, for example, since receivable yan, yung customer natin, tayo ay may collectible sa kanila. Kung maraming customers ang may utang sa atin, marami tayong collectibles. So, for example, mayroon tayong mga accounts receivable from customer A, customer B, customer C, and so on and so forth. Sa accounts payable, usually ganun din naman. Meron tayong mga suppliers, so nagkakautang tayo sa kanila. So, we have these specific books or subsidiary ledger para kay creditor X, creditor Y, creditor Z, and so on and so forth. So, ganyan ang relationship ng general ledger at saka subsidiary ledger. So, ngayon, tingnan natin maya-maya kung paano nating isisync yan dalawang yan. The two most common types of subsidiary ledgers, yun nga yung accounts receivable ledger at saka yung accounts payable ledgers. Tingnan natin itong example ng accounts receivable subsidiary ledger kay KMA Corporation. Tingnan nyo, yung column ng date, yung column ng reference, yung column ng debit, yung column ng credit, at saka ng balance. Running balance yan. Ito yung mga dates na kung saan ang accounts receivable account title ay nagamit sa journal entry. April 5, April 10, April 30. So, ito pa rin nga yung running balance, no? After ng debit, tapos minus si credit. So, yan ay si KMA Corporation. And then, separate naman ang subsidiary ledger ni AFA Corporation. So, as you notice, the format of the subsidiary ledger is similar to the general ledger. The only difference is that the accounts receivable subsidiary ledger provides a running balance of each of the company's customers' account. In the example above, it is recognized that the balances of KMA and AFA corporations are 80,000 and 64,000 respectively. So, yung 80,000, yan yung balance lang ni KMA. Tapos, si AFA yung 64,000. Tingnan naman natin ang accounts payable subsidiary ledger. Yan pa rin yung parts, yung date reference debit credit balance. Okay? So, ganun pa rin naman siya. Makikita namin dito, running balance niya. Now, lipat tayo. What are the advantages of subsidiary ledgers? First, transactions are grouped according to each of the individual customers' accounts of the company. Diba? Nakagroup nga siya according to individual. So, lahat ng transactions ni KMA Corporation, for example, sa accounts receivable, ay sa kanya lang ipopost. Okay? Ito yung sa subsidiary ledger. At lahat ng mga transactions naman related to AFA Corporation, sama-sama rin sila rito. Ganon din naman dito sa accounts payable subsidiary ledger. Lahat lang ito ay transaction ni ZJA, lahat lang ito ay transaction ni AFA at ni PASAL. So, nakagrupo sila. It provides up-to-date information on different individual account balances of customers in the accounts receivable as well as creditors in the accounts payable. Kasi kapag gumagalaw yan, ina-update yan ng taong naka-assign doon sa particular account na yon na or customer or client or creditor. Subsidiary ledgers help in detecting errors and misstatements in posting of entries in the ledger. So dahil nakagrupo yan, madali natin matitrace kung saan nagkakamali. Okay? In the year-end or month-end, the company can easily reconcile the balance of the general ledger account to the total of the individual subsidiary ledgers to determine whether there are transactions not posted. So mamaya makikita natin kung paano natin sisync yung general ledger sa subsidiary ledger. Number 5, like the special journal, the subsidiary ledger allows greater division of labor for the company. Ganito. As two kinds of ledgers are being utilized, different employees can post in the general ledger and in the subsidiary ledgers simultaneously. So, napapabilis yung trabaho kasi pwedeng sabay-sabay gagawa yan dahil iba-ibang tao naka-assign dyan. Okay? Maraming customers, maraming accounts receivable, pwedeng isang tao sa dalawang customer, pwedeng 3, pwedeng 5, so depende sa company yan. Okay, basta may kanya-kanyang assignment ang bawat bookkeeper. So merong bookkeeper na naka-assign lang sa accounts payable, meron naman naka-assign lang sa accounts receivable kung hindi ganun ka-konti or karami yung kanilang mga individual accounts. Pero kung marami talaga yan, kagaya ng mga clients ng SM, so sabi ko kanina, pwedeng isang tao, 5 hawak niyang specific accounts, tapos yung iba ay, let's say iba naman. So, ganun siya, magiging mabilis ang trabaho kapag lahat yun ay meron kang nire-record. So, kung isang tao lang lahat ang gagawa niya, ako, sobrang tagal ng magiging recording mo. After the recording and classifying phase, let's now proceed to the summarizing phase. Ito yung sa trial balance. Okay? So, a trial balance is a bookkeeping worksheet in which the balances of all ledgers is compiled into debit and credit account column totals that are equal. A trial balance is prepared to check the equality of debits and credits. There is a need to verify that debits are equal to credits to assure decision makers that the financial statements and reports that we issue have at least been checked for mechanical errors. Note that a balanced trial balance only implies that the total debit amount is the same as the total credit amount, that the left side is equal to the right side. It does not mean that the report is free from errors because an incorrect analysis may still result to a balanced trial balance. Okay? So, sinasabi rito ay kung balanse yung debit at credit, yun lang naman yun. Pareho lang sila yun. Hindi natin sinasabi dito na kapag balanse sila ay wala ka ng error generally, no? Kasi baka sa analysis mo, may pagkakamali ka. For example na lang, no, yung mga accounts na dapat ay nasa credit na ilagay mo sa debit. O kaya naman, ibang account title ang nagamit mo instead na yung dapat na account title. So, pwede pa rin magkamali. Pagdating doon sa analysis, pero since may debit credit yan, lalagyan mo siya ng debit credit na same figure, kaya balanse pa rin. The trial balance is prepared after all the transactions for the period have been journalized and posted to the general ledger. So, errors which may be detected in the preparation of trial balance. First is the transposition error, incorrect placement of digits. Transplacement or slide error, incorrect placement of decimal points. Incorrectly copying the amounts from journal to ledger and the balances from ledger to trial balance. Placing the amount in the incorrect column of the trial balance and omitting an account in the trial balance. So, yan yung mga common na pagkakamali natin, no? Minsan nadudulin tayo, yung 525 nagiging 252. So, yun yung transposition error. Okay? Tapos, syempre, kapag medyo pagod ka na, ay nagkakamali ka na talaga ng nakokopya na numbers. Except in preparing a trial balance, it is also the same with the preparation of the trial balance for the service type of business. We have the heading, we have the columns for account number, account name, debit balance, and credit balance. Also, account balances from the general ledger are copied and arranged in financial statements order or based on account number. Total debit and credit columns. At saka yung number 5, importante, yung double rule. Double rule the totals of the debit and credit columns. Key to preparing a trial balance is making sure that all the account balances are listed under the correct column. The appropriate columns are as follows. Ito yung sinasabi natin mga normal balances, no? Saan dapat nakalagay yung normal balance ng asset, ng liabilities, expenses, equity, and revenue. For example, yung asset nga ay debit balance. Yung liabilities, credit balance. Expenses, debit balance. Equity, credit balance. And yung revenue, credit balance. Example natin dito, Chain Merchandising has the following ledger account balances at the end of January. Prepare a trial balance for the business. Okay? From recent topic sample transaction, ito makikita natin dito ay galing dito sa mga nadaanan nating transaction itong mga noon ng page. So, yung cash, ito yung kanyang example, no? Ito yung kanyang ledger. Since ang dami-daming mga transactions involving cash, pinakita na lang natin dito shortcut. Yung January 1 tsaka January 3 na transactions. So, J1, nasa page 1 yan. Tapos, debit credit. So, yung balance niya para sa lahat ng cash transactions for the month of January ay 246,500. So, kaya nakita natin yung dalawang bullet yun na makapal. Sinortcut na lang yan. The same is true with accounts receivable. Ito yung nakikita natin sa ledger. Accounts receivable, 21,000 na kanyang balance. Inventory, 29,000. PPE, 50,000. Accounts payable, 30,000. Mga running balance yan, guys, no? Yung drawing, tapos yung returns, cost of goods sold, ito yung mga nagamit na account title para sa January. So, ito na yung pag-prepare natin ng trial balance. Same as gumagawa ka ng financial statement, no? Yung balance sheet, income statement, ilagay mo sa heading yung name ng company, and then sa second line, yung name of the statement, in this case, trial balance, and then yung date, which is January 31, 2021. Tapos, account title, and then yung columns ng debit at credit. So, ganyan lang siya. Itindan nyo lang yan. Account balances from the general ledger are copied and arranged in financial statements order or based on account number. Amounts at the top of each debit and credit column should have a peso sign. So, yung una, lalagyan nyo siya ng peso sign. Okay? Tingnan natin itong isa. Ito yung trial balance. Dito mo lang siya lagyan ng peso sign. And then, dapat naka-align siya according to digits. Tapos yung total, lagyan mo rin ng peso sign. At, importante ay lagyan mo siya ng double rule. Naka-double rule yan, kaso na misalign lang. Paano yung arrangement niya? Assets, liabilities, capital, revenues, tsaka ang expenses. So, ganun yung kanyang arrangement. Prepare a trial balance from the ledger account balances of Eagle Merchandise. Yan, yung 1429, since running balance yan. 149429, makikita natin siya dito sa trial balance ni Eagle Merchandising. 149,429. Ganon din si accounts receivable. Balikan natin. 28,433. Ito ay transactions ng buong January, ha? Ang nakikita nyo lang dito ay January 2, pero shortcut na lang. So, tingnan natin. 28,433. Ngayon, guys, kanina, sabi nga natin, yung general ledger at saka yung subsidiary ledger dapat magkasync yan. Dito sa accounts receivable, ang nakikita natin dito ay 28,433. So, hindi na pinakita dito yung individual. Kaya kung halimbawa yung balance ni A, balance ni B, balance ni C, i-add mo lang yon lahat at yun yung ilalagay natin dito. So, ganun din naman sa accounts payable. Yung balance ni creditor A, balance ni creditor B, balance ni creditor C, i-add lang natin lahat yon at yun ang ilalagay natin dito sa figure ni accounts payable. So, ganun lang naman guys, no? Add mo lang yon mula sa subsidiary ledger, yun na yung ilalagay mo sa general ledger at makikita natin dito sa trial balance. Pansinin lang guys, no? I-familiarize nyo lang yung itsura ng trial balance at hindi kayo malilito. So, andyan pa rin si debit column at saka si credit column. Ang importante ay mabalanse nyo dito. Sabi nga kanina, no? Kahit balance yan, yung debit and credit niya pareho, it doesn't mean na walang mali doon sa yung gawa. Maaaring meron pa rin kung may mali kang nagawa sa iyong analysis. Yun yung ating lesson for this week. Ang general ledger and the subsidiary ledgers, tapos ang preparation ng trial balance. So for our question of the week, a trial balance which shows equal totals for both debit and credit column shows A, that there must be more than one error within the bookkeeping system. Letter B, that the bookkeeping system is free of errors. Letter C, that it is arithmetically correct, but errors may still present in the bookkeeping system. And letter D, all of the above. So, comment your answers in the comment section. Hanggang dito na lang guys yung ating lesson. See you again next week for our next lesson. Have a nice day.